Gentlemen, it is now 8:31, and we welcome you to the meeting of the City of San Angelo Development Corporation. Notice is hereby given the regular meeting of the San Angelo Development Corporation to be held Wednesday, December 16th, 2015 at 8:30. We're a minute late at the McNeese Convention Center. Everyone, of course, is welcome to attend, and I guess this is the time for the official and ceremonial silencing of the cell phones. Okay. With that, we are called to order. And Scott Tankersley, would you offer a prayer, please?
I sure can. If you'll please bow your heads with me. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us together today to discuss the business of the city of San Angelo. I ask that you will be with us while we are making the decisions that we will make regarding the money for the members or the citizens of the city of San Angelo. I also ask, Lord, that you will be with us and our families during this holiday season and be with our men and women overseas as they are not with their families during this holiday season. I ask, Lord, if it be thy will, bring our country the rain we so desperately need. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Okay. We now have a public comment period. Issues or items that are not on the agenda may be raised by the public at this time. Citizens should speak from the podium. Begin by stating your name and limit remarks to less than 5 minutes. Board members may request that a discussed item be placed on a future agenda. The board takes public comment on all regular agenda items during that discussion of those items. Do we have any public comment? Other than silence. Okay, thank you very much. We'll now move on to our consent agenda. Has the board reviewed the consent agenda?
Move approval.
Second.
We have motion and multiple seconds for approval. With that, I'll ask for any public comment on our consent agenda. In the absence of any, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good, that's unanimous. We now move on to item number 5, our regular agenda, sub-item A. Presentation and update regarding the BREP Helping Local Business Marketing Campaign. And we have Stephen McLaughlin, Advertising.
Mr. President, Stephen is not here yet. Can we move to the next item and I'll...
How about we postpone that one? This sounds like a great idea.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. We'll next have sub-item B, consider approving a resolution of support for a low-income housing tax credit, LIHTC, by Zimmerman Properties, LLC, to construct senior multiple affordable housing apartments in San Angelo on 29th Street and MLK Avenue. And we have Robert Salas, Director of our Neighborhood Services Department.
Good morning. Zimmerman Properties, LLC, is requesting support from the city for a low-income housing tax credit project to be located on the north side of town on the corner of 29th Street and Martin Luther King Drive. The proposed Kirby Park Villas project will be a 72 senior citizen apartment complex with affordable rents. The project is in one of our neighborhoods targeted for revitalization, and it will add to the affordable housing stock here in the city. The resolution before you provides city support and allows the Development Corporation to utilize its established programs to benefit the project and make it more competitive. This is where it's supposed to be located. It's the corner of, again, 29th Street and Martin Luther King. The entrance is right through here, and that's right in front of the Walmart, which is up here in this corner over here. This slide shows the number of units per income level, and you can see that it starts at 30%, the AMI, the average medium income, and it also has some market rate units, 7 of them, and you get basically it's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, or a 2 bedroom, 2 bath. The lowest rent is about $200 a month, and it moves up as we go up through the income levels. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to be a 3-story complex with elevators for seniors, of course. It'll be fenced. Not sure if it'll be gated at this point. And right now, the plan is just for one entrance, but They're looking at maybe having 2 entrances and making it a gated community because they are seniors. This is because, just look at the common areas, this is going to look like, this is a project that they did in Oklahoma, and this will be very similar. And it'll have a lobby, a community room, and it will have some exercise rooms as well. So I'm asking the board to approve the resolution.
Does the board have any questions?
Bob, is the reason it comes to, I know, because I think council heard the same item yesterday, is reason it comes to us for potential incentives that we might offer through affordable housing?
That is correct. And Ron, you want to?
Yes,
Chime on
let me help Bob with that as well. If you notice, the resolution does mention economic development staff and neighborhood and family services staff. We wanted just to get ahead of this as opposed to what we've experienced in the past, where things are happening at the last minute and someone's asking for our assistance and so forth. We believe, and just together as we've collaborated, that we can utilize not only COSA DC tools, but economic development in general, city programs to help benefit the application, make it a better application. So we want to put that in the resolution, have that approval, and if need be, utilize those programs in the future. And
I'd move approval of the resolution supporting low-income housing tax credit by Zimmerman Properties.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any public comment on this? With that, I believe we'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you very much.
Okay, our next item is,
Mr. President, Stephen is here now.
okay, we'll back up to item A. Welcome, Stephen. Presentation update regarding the BREP Helping Local Business Marketing Campaign. And we have Stephen McLaughlin of McLaughlin Advertising.
Good morning, gentlemen. I am terribly sorry I'm late. It wasn't
All right.
It wasn't an attempt to be rude.
On a rare occasion, the board was here on time.
Had a little technical malfunction in the parking lot with a bottle of stuff.
Wow. Thought we were friends, John. All right.
Only kidding.
He wasn't talking about you, Juan.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I want to preface my report with this. I was talking to Roland the other day, and he found it helpful. The concept in this campaign from the beginning was to take advantage of the opportunity to start very small and narrow and gradually broaden and increase in order to determine what truly works for getting the message out for COSA DC. Because in marketing, if you start with everything and it works, you don't know what elements you can afford to let go of, and it's been progressing beautifully. I'll remind you that we are developing this on 2 separate tracks. The first is to get the word out to Nexus-approved businesses that may have growth projects COSA DC can help with. And the second is a more intricate campaign, and it's an attempt to intercept retailers before they order wholesale goods they could have bought from local manufacturers or suppliers. And here's an overview of the 2 parts. On the helping local businesses, in mid-September, we launched our search engine marketing with a narrow band of keywords focused on area manufacturing. After 45 days, we had only 93 impressions with 1 clicking through. Now, what this did was enable us to see particular keywords that simply aren't in the search habits of local business owners. The nice thing to note about this is that this advertising type, we only paid for the 1 click. Over the end of October and early November, we did a direct mailer out to 718 local businesses on our Nexus code list. Then next on our search engine marketing, we moved to a broader keyword list based on all area businesses on the code list. In a period of a few weeks on that one, we've had 2,236 impressions with 10 separate individuals then clicking through to the COSA DC site. You might find it interesting, the top keywords were related to the printing business, the oil business, the electrical business, construction business, and metalworks business. During the same period, our ad has been displayed on national sites to people in our city reading content related to businesses in the eligible category. So it's people in San Angelo, but they're looking at national websites. Lost my spot. The ad displayed 572 times in the last 2 weeks on 41 sites, including bizjournals.com, answers.com, forbes.com, and the Houston Chronicles website. In December, we have started rotating small ads in the Standard Times at the top of the business page, and one is for the business retention. We have designed the posters and cards, which I think Roland has here so that everyone can see them. So brought it's just not my day. Here's the poster. These are for distribution to commercial lenders, CPAs, and permitting and development service city departments. They'll be printed and ready to be distributed right after Christmas. We went with a business card size for the business cards for a number of reasons. They're low cost, and they're the ready, inexpensive availability of card holders that we can provide for the distribution points. And the size means less of an inconvenience for the partners who agree to have these in their offices, and it also enables us to leave a much larger count at each location, so it cuts down on the need for restocking trips. Now, on our effort to help encourage retailers to buy locally manufactured supplies, we've dubbed this campaign Made in San Angelo with a question mark. We continue to develop the search engine portion of this campaign, and we expect to be ready to launch it in January. This online campaign will be kind of breaking new ground, and part of the significance of the improvement of the search engine numbers I reported is that now the mechanisms and information on search habits for business owners we need for this we have in place, so that when we launch in January, instead of learning how they search, we can focus on how they search and buy goods. And then also one of the rotating ads in the business pages is on this topic. Finally, TV and radio ads for both BREP and the Made in San Angelo campaigns are in production and will be run in selected programming beginning in January. Currently, we have started, having started our work in July, we're considerably under budget because of what I reported on the web search stuff, having only spent something around $5,000 or $6,000 of 14. And that will equalize somewhat with a broader campaign beginning in 2016, but we will finish under budget. In closing, I look forward to our next report because at that time, there'll be media that you were exposed to and you'll be able to readily see and feel, and it'll be running for a while, and so it'll be easier for you to assess results. Any questions?
I like your tracking. I think it's important for us to be able to see. Does it identify who, Stephen?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. But just the fact that they are looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It gives you a wide range of information, so much so sometimes it's difficult to figure out what I should compress it into to bring it to you. So you get kind of a feel of who they might be, but you don't specifically know who they are.
Sure. Well, I think it's important that we track it in that way that, we hopefully, will there be any way to judge, maybe Roland, this is for you, will we have any way to know if they are participating, buying locally through any increase in our revenues through the sales tax? Will there be any way to identify the campaign did have a direct impact on that, or not really?
Not that I am aware of. I think what we're going to have to, it's going to be more word of mouth. Hey, we heard, we saw, we listened, and because of that, we believe in the message, and we're doing business in the community. We like the ads. You've made us aware, and we believe in it, and so forth.
I would think, if I can interject, that that's such a neat and unusual thing. I've never heard of anything quite like it. And I would think that we'll be able to rely pretty effectively on the manufacturers themselves and the feedback that we'll get from them when somebody tells them, hey, I was told online or in this ad that to call the COSA DC and they'd let me know that you make product X that I need to put on my shelves. I think when that happens, that's going to make a real impression, and I think we'll hear feedback directly from the manufacturers themselves. But as far as a hard tracking data, there would be no way.
I think it's just important that, this is repetition on my part, but I think it's just important that we, to the extent we can impact helping our own local business folks generate more revenue through, I'm going to say, something just as simple as this. Now, it may not be that simple, but just doing what we can to encourage folks to keep their money here locally, as opposed to saving 5%. And you know, while that's nice, but there could be other, non-monetary benefits: quicker service, better service, things that we might not necessarily totally realize until after the fact. So I see this as important, and I think it's something too we may have to stick with this a while. It may not be just 6 months, a year. This may be a multi-year, and I don't candidly know how long multi-year is, but a multi-year project. Just a thought.
I think what we're seeing is we've got a lot of room for improving the message, and it's got a lot of opportunity to enhance the message. We ran a couple of ads last week. Did you bring a sample of those, Stephen, with you at all?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you saw it in the newspaper, but these were on print, and
There was something in this morning's
I
paper,
immediately
think.
got feedback on that.
Was there something in this morning's paper, Stephen? Do you know? Yeah.
That's right. No, I think it's tomorrow's
Okay.
paper.
All right. I thought I saw something this
The
morning.
business page is Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
I would also say, to do with these cards that we're going to distribute, I know that we'll handle some of it, and Bob and Roland will handle some of it, but by all means, and I know Mr. Tankersley brought this up at our last meeting, but anybody that you guys know or any place you come up with that you think's a good spot for these cards to be, please call us and we'll be sure they get there. And if you can encourage whoever the individual is to participate, more the better.
Thanks for your work, Stephen.
Oh, thank you for the
Yes,
opportunity.
thank you very much. Does the board have any other questions? Any questions from the public? Stephen, we thank you very much.
Thank you.
Who was he talking about, Mr. Tankersley?
I didn't even know my dad came to these.
Okay. With that, we will move on to item C, consideration of authorizing staff to negotiate and the Costa DC Board President, I guess that's me, to execute an economic development performance agreement with with the San Angelo Performing Arts Coalition and the City of San Angelo in the amount of $1,500,000 for the expansion of the city auditorium with an annex in substantially the same form as the attached. And this is being presented to us by our director, Roland Pina.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning, Roland.
This project has been brought before you in the last few months. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but just for the benefit of the viewing audience, today's item is a project agreement. It is between the City of San Angelo Development Corporation, the San Angelo Performing Arts Coalition, and the City of San Angelo, and it is for the expansion of the city auditorium with a new annex. It involves a cost of $4 million. Our allocation to this is 1.5. That's what's listed in the performance agreement. In that, SAPAC is to raise between $2.2 to $2.5 million, and the City of San Angelo will have the responsibility the accountability responsibility, making sure that SAPAC raises those funds. Also included in the agreement is that any excess funds are going to be remitted back to Costa DC. Project components involved the two-story annex. This is 17,728 square feet behind the city auditorium. Does involve an enhanced venue by adding dressing rooms and loading docks to accommodate traveling road shows. This is the city auditorium annex. This is the first time I get to use this. So that is the annex portion. We didn't have these renderings last time we brought this before you. This is what it looks like. I have a couple of renderings for your view and the view of the audience. Costa DC approved the allocation on August 26. We did publish notice in September, September 15th. Costa DC did hold a public hearing and passed a resolution declaring it a project. With that, staff recommends approval of this item.
Rowan, I know we had talked, projects such as this, all kinds of projects. When you get down to the end, somebody says, "Oh my, I forgot. We need this. We need that. We better do this. Do we have that covered in the agreement that it is, I'm going to say, in totality, that's it? So that they're not coming back or somebody's not coming back. We just need just a little bit more from you all. Is that something that's a part of our agreement? So that they're not going to be coming back for another 300,000 or another 200,000.
And I'm going to respond to that, and then I'm going to let Dan chime in on this. But I think during the last course of 2-3 months, there's been a lot of discussion, several meetings with SAPAC and the city of San Angelo, and we've created some line items. And in fact, they provided a very detailed presentation to council. I think we're all in accord that this is it. We've had too much time that has that we've accumulated, and in fact, I mean, $3.75 million was provided by Costa DC in the restoration and renovations of the existing auditorium. And I think pretty much we're all in agreement that it is time to get this done and completed, and there are specific line items. In fact, part of the discussions is, look, if we don't have the funds, then we're going to cut back. We're going to remove some of these items in the project. Dan, you want to provide any comments? I know Dan and I spend a lot of time reviewing a lot of the details. So,
this contract is funding. It only provides for the 1.5. The city and SAPAC have a development and operating agreement. SAPAC has a big wish list. We do have the contract, and the city is also capped on how much money the city is obligated under that contract. And under that development and operating agreement, SAPAC is obligated to come up with all of the funds above those caps. And so they will be continuing to, raise that money. And they may not raise enough for all of their wish list, or they may even have extra. And there is a payback provision for unutilized funds. This is tied to the CMAR contract, and so if it's not needed, it will go back to Costa DC.
Is that spelled out in the agreement, what is needed, what isn't needed with respect to our funds? Or is it just kind of the door wide open, or they can use it for whatever as a part of the project? Our 1.5 million, is it for absolutely specific things, or is it they can use it however they want to? Because it seems to me they're going to use up the public money before they get into their own.
well, they had to raise the 2.2 to 2.5 before they can use our 1.5. So it is specifically for the total project, constructing that annex project. We know combined with the renovations and combined with the Performing Arts Center, it's about a $26 million project. But we're only concerned about this annex in terms of Costa DC, and we made it very clear in the agreement.
Okay.
Are those funds already raised, the 2.2, or what's the time frame on that? Is there, what's the, what time?
They have raised funds and have received the pledge enough to allow them to go forward and sign the agreement with Lee Lewis and begin the project, award the construction project. So at this point, we're in our agreement. The city of San Angelo is the one holding SAPAC accountable, and they can't use the funds until those funds have been accumulated.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions or concerns from the board? How about from the public? Okay, with nothing else, I suppose we'll go ahead and call for the vote.
Do we have a motion?
Oh, I'm sorry.
get your motion,
Yes, we
yeah.
should have a motion.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
We have some motion to that end.
Co-motion.
Does that count as a second?
Edward had
Okay,
his-
we have a
and
motion
second.
and a second. We will now call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, our next item, D, consideration of approving the proposed Costa DC fiscal year 2016 program of work. And Roland continues.
Board members, so I am coming back to you. We had a presentation to you last month, and I presented a new approach, putting this work program for fiscal year 16 together. And just for the benefit of the audience, we looked at guiding principles, and I think you guys, I think the board was in agreement. Our guiding principles are as follows: increase the tax base, improve wages and salaries, reduce the tax burden on the residential taxpayers, attract new business from target industries, create jobs, retain businesses, and retain those jobs. We proposed 7 strategies, and I believe y'all were in agreement: business retention and expansion, new and small business development, targeted marketing, workforce development, infrastructure, research, and administration. Now, I did not put together any additional slides. I felt it would be cumbersome, but these are the strategies. You have the work plan before you. I have gone back and provided objectives to every one of the strategies. I've also inserted specific goals in the matrix and created several tasks for each one of the strategies, and I am open to answer any questions that you may have. It is very thorough. I did bring this up before our economic development partners in our ED partner meeting last week. I did receive input from our partners, and so at this point, it has the blessing there in agreement. Some of these partners will be participating in the strategy, so we'll be doing the collaboration. With that, I'll be glad to entertain any questions.
And Roland, that does refer to the 11-page insert in the packet, right? Where you have the matrix and...
Yes, the packet is part of, I mean, the program of work is part of the board packet.
Okay, any questions or concerns from the staff? No, sorry, from the board?
I'd move approval of the proposed Costa DC 2016 program of work.
Okay, do we have a second? Scott Tankersley seconds. Any questions or concerns from the public? With that, I suppose we shall call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Thank you very much. The next item is E, update presentation regarding the Phase 3 certification of the industrial park. That's coming right along, isn't it, Roland?
This project, I guess it's been almost a year that we embarked on, and so this is strictly an update. This was the additional information that was requested from us in the last month. They wanted clarification on the recordable survey. They wanted a title, attorney opinion update. It had been about 5 years since we received a title attorney opinion. So you might have seen that in the disbursement. There was a cause for updating that. There were some questions about the antiquities, landmark, and historical places, cultural places as well. And we got that clarified. The wastewater capacity, there was a discrepancy between some of the information that we had provided and what they were interpreting. So all information that they requested has been provided. this morning, I received the good news from McAllen Sweeney that all of it looked in order, and it looked like we're going to be receiving our approval, and I should have that certification in hand by the end of the day. So that's a good way to end the year. There's a lot of work put into it, a lot of people involved. We have a lot of our internal departments, real estate, water utilities, legal, our staff, the consultants that we hired, KSA, obviously the partners who've been supportive, but it's good news for us. It's been a long time coming. I think we're going to use that as another good economic development advantage for us as we attract more industry. So good news. Thank you, board, for your support on that, and hopefully we'll have more to come on that, perhaps a press release, and we'll get to market that new certification of the industrial park.
Congrats, Roland.
Yeah.
Thank you
Good
very
job,
much.
Yeah.
That was strictly an update.
Yes, it was. We move on to item F, consideration of approving an allocation not to exceed $10,000 for the purchase of new office furniture for the new staff member and replacement of existing worn furniture for current staff. Go right ahead, Roland.
Board members, these items are not for luxury. They're more of a necessity. We have furniture that we need that we need to acquire to put in one of the offices for the new staff person. We do have furniture that's worn, and I guess we inherited from perhaps other departments in the past. When we moved in, you can obviously tell we've had some furniture that is not as safe.
There was a chair in your office that, yes.
That's what I didn't want
Yes.
to point that out.
Yes. Thank you for not doing that.
And then we want to enhance, we have, the BRC conference room has received a lot of use. And obviously that, we have to do a lot of manual, setup for running a HDMI, what they call HDMI cable, and it just seems cumbersome. We want to go wireless and put a smart TV in there and reflect the that we're staying with the trends in technology just like we are here, and so I'd like to replace that. But I do have a cost summary and itemization of the items that we need. The coffee table, and somebody wave, somebody stand up. Okay. So these items, the top items, coffee table and 4 chairs. This is for the lobby area. That furniture is lacking. The desk is for the new office area, and it includes credenza and hutches. We have 2 chairs that we've inherited, and they're just old. Bob has one, I have the other, and we're going to replace those. They do come with some warranty. Also, some guest chairs for the outside area, and then we have a smart TV that we'd like to purchase. This is just an estimation. I think the request is for 10,000? Is that what I
Yes, it
requested?
is.
Not to exceed.
We're estimating, not to exceed 10,000. We're estimating 7,200, but we may even cut that less than that. But so we just wanted to have some cushion there in the event that we need to. We're going to try to get other bids. We do have just one bid, but we're going to try to get a couple other bids. So we anticipate those costs to be lower, and that is my request if the board is willing to approve that.
All bids will be from local.
Of course.
Good. Good. I think it would be a little ironic if we didn't, yeah. I'd move approval of allocation not to exceed 10,000 for purchase of new office furniture.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second. Any comment from the public? Any other concerns from the board? My only thing is that I appreciate that you have tolerated less than the best furniture for a while, and I think we owe it to you to not only take care of our staff, but also that the space needs to be presentable for the public. We're inviting people in that intend to come here and be successful. We need to present that same face to the public. With that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much, Roland.
Welcome.
Okay, we are up to item 6 on the agenda, which is our executive closed session. Executive session under the provisions of Government Code Title V, Open Government Ethics, Subtitle Open Government. Pardon me, I'm stuttering through this. Chapter 551, Open Meetings, Subchapter D, Exceptions to requirements that meetings be open under the following sections. Section 551.071, Parens 2, to consult with an attorney on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter regarding matters related to litigation pertaining to Martifer Hirschfield Energy Systems LLC et al. Section 551.072, to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property at the industrial park. Section 551.087, to discuss an offer of financial or other incentives to companies with whom the City of San Angelo Development Corporation is conducting economic development negotiations, and which the City of San Angelo Development Corporation seeks to have, locate, stay, or expand in San Angelo. With that, the time is now 9:08. We are in executive session, and we will politely ask that any non-partners be excused from the room.
I'll make the motion of the day.
Not yet, not yet. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's now 9:31. We are out of executive session with nothing to report, which essentially brings us down to item 8 on our agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn by Scott Tankersley and then Tommy Hebert. Do I hear any public comment on our adjournment?
Any objections?
Figured I'd be really legal on this one. Okay. Well, with that, let's call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And with that, we wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.